Good morning. This is Ramblings with Joe. Yesterday, my company lost a truck driver. He had some kind of accident. Single vehicle. I don't know what the details are. I do know that there's a family in mourning today, and that this affects people. This affects people's lives. Sends me down rabbit holes, this kind of thing, both in my thoughts and in my studies. It is difficult to comprehend what we leave behind when we leave this world. This is for those of us that aren't directly involved, this is a reminder. This is a stark reminder that lives are at stake. It's our responsibility as professional drivers to make sure we're doing the best job we can, both to ensure the public safety and ensure that our family doesn't lose us. Like I said, I have no idea what the situation was with this driver who passed. And I prayed for his family. This is a very harsh reality of truck driving. Year by year, it is between the 6th and 8th most dangerous occupation in America. It is more dangerous than police officers. There's very few jobs that are more dangerous, obviously between 5 and 7. But the ability to get up and go to work every day and not let it become so mundane that we're not cognitive of the idea of what we're about to endeavor upon. It's dangerous work. One of the things that caught my eye in my study this morning was one of the more dangerous occupations is logger. I thought that was seriously more dangerous, but it's right there with trucking, trade spots with it. For every 100,000 drivers that are out there, about 31 are going to die every year. Those are horrible odds. That's terrible. Our highways are dangerous. They always have been. It's in motorcycling, there's a saying. And the saying is you have to drive for yourself and everyone else. That's just as true for trucking. I recently had a small accident. It was my fault, completely my fault. And I try to embrace my life's history and learn from it. And when I had my accident, it was a wake-up call. Well, this accident that killed this driver, we should all use as a wake-up call. It is easy to forget how dangerous our world can be. And it is easy to put that on the back burner. But when it becomes mundane, that's when things happen. Today I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to drive between 190 and 200 miles. It's not a lot. Back when I was OTR, I would put in between 600 and 700 miles a day, depending upon the states I was in. Now that I'm doing LTL, putting in a lot less miles, doing a lot more work, which is something I appreciate, but I'm putting in a lot less miles. The chances are reduced in me being killed because of the job I'm doing now than when I was over the road. The chances of an accident are more because I'm dealing with cities, small cities, large cities, county roads. Yesterday, one of my delivery points was a house. I don't do a whole lot of house deliveries in this type of situation, but I do enough. And the job is, you park on the road, you turn on your four-way flashers, your emergency flashers, and you unload to the driveway. And if the driveway is paved, you may take the product up the driveway. If it's gravel, like it was yesterday, you may leave it by the driveway, or you may need to wait for the customer to come and get it, which was the case yesterday. So, as I'm sitting there, and I'm contemplating this driver that I read about in our company that lost his life, a school bus comes up over the hill about 200-300 miles from the 200-300 yards from the delivery point, and it slows down. The driver's obviously being very attentive, and I'm in the right lane, and the driver passes me on the left after he slowed down to make sure he had enough time. There was another hill in front of me, so you have limited sight distance. You can't see very far. Well, this was a country road, but about 10 minutes later, a car came over the top of the hill, and he was booking. He was moving fast. Now I'm sitting. I'm leaning against it. I was delivering. What was I delivering? I was delivering a freezer, a chest freezer, and I'm leaning against it on my lift gate. The lift gate's just something that picks up product and drops down product. And at that point, when this car came up over that hill, going as fast as he could, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether I should stay on the lift gate and he was going to shoot off into the ditch, jump to the right onto the road because he was going to, go into the ditch or hit my tractor, my trailer, or stay where I was. I mean, this is kind of my life in his hands. This was a country road, and I believe the speed limit was probably 35, and this guy was probably doing 70, 80 miles an hour. Scary situation. Absolutely zero thing to do with trucking, but this guy coming up over the hill, I didn't know what to do. He went around me. He went on the left side. He left a little bit of a black mark where he locked his tires up. And then he released them, thankfully, because if he had lost control, then definitely I wouldn't know what to do. So the driver went around me. Fortunately, there was no traffic coming the other way. Man, I've done some dangerous crap in my time. Been a motorcycle rider. Done some stupid things on motorcycles. One of the things that people who ride very fast motorcycles are fond of saying is speed smart. Well, I guess I'm just old. I don't know. I think the only place to speed smart is on a racetrack. I'm not saying I've never done it. I'm saying I've not done it recently, and I'm not going to do it again. Whoever this guy was, he was not speeding smart. He was not being smart. He was putting my family's livelihood and my family's family member, me, in jeopardy. Took the customer about 6-7 more minutes to come back, get the freezer. And in that time period, I had time to calm down. I was really furious. Kind of all coalesced into my being very angry. 6 to 8. If you're a truck driver, you're hearing this. Be reminded, you have a dangerous job. 30 out of 100,000. 30 out of 100,000 of us will not get home to see our families. That's a lot of people. There are 3 million truck drivers in America. 3 million. So let's do the math. There are 3.5 million truck drivers in America. 1,100 truck drivers won't go home to their families this year. If you are a truck driver, today, take a moment. Number one, take a moment to tell your family you love them. Number two, take a moment to leave the house with intent, to get out of the sleeper with the intent of coming home, of seeing your family, of have the intent of getting to be with the people. Those people are the reason you're doing your job. It's a dangerous job. I'm just talking about fatalities. I'm not even talking about the people who get hurt in accidents. I'm not talking about the people who end up disabled from accidents. I'm not even talking about the mental strain that I know each and every truck driver experiences because of all of the situations that they find themselves in every day, from distracted drivers. This is a dangerous occupation. I hope that there's no one today. I wish there would never be another person who is injured or hurt or killed in this occupation. I've been doing it for almost 35 years. Basically since I left the Navy, 1987. I've done just about every type of truck driving job you can think of. There's a few I haven't done and I don't really have any inclination to do, but I've done quite a few. And I've seen crap. I've thought I was done. There's been a few times. One comes to mind about the Peterbilt in Arkansas that was coming. I was on I think I was on I-20, and the Peterbilt was coming across the median, and I can still see it in my mind, man. That Peterbilt was pushing dirt and grass, and it was going out around that, at the time we called them anteaters. It was pushing dirt and grass and rocks and everything around his truck like he was a boat cutting through water. And yeah, I thought that was it. He was coming right at me. I was in the middle of passing a Swift truck, and I thought we were both goners. Now, fortunately for me and the Swift driver, we survived. That Peterbilt, it was a blue Peterbilt, and it was a late model Peterbilt, and it was he was driving distracted, and when he did, he came up on a construction site. Now, that Peterbilt slammed on his brakes, and he put everybody in that construction zone life at risk. He cut his wheel over into the median, which forced him to come across the median toward us. I can't tell you how fortunate this driver was and how fortunate we were. He ended up parked going the wrong way on our side of the interstate. This was back before cell phones. I stopped and I called my wife immediately at the next rest area. So swift, I don't know what he did in the rest area. He ran toward the bathroom, so I think he might have had a mess to clean up. But I stopped and called him, and I was pretty tore up. We have family to go home to. That's the bad news, that we lost someone. Truck drivers have a saying, rest in peace, driver. We'll take the load from here. Everybody, get home to your family. It's the only reason we do the jobs we do. The only reason. Take a minute. Think about it. Take a minute. Think about the people in your lives. Think about the people that are affected. Now think about everybody else on the road. Think about their people. Put down the cell phone. Put down all the distractions. Just stop. So one of the things that I went into today, and I did a little bit of a deep dive. The good news is, truck driver fatalities have not increased since cell phone usage has gone up. That's the good news. I'm not sure if that's because the truck drivers have increased their attentiveness, or because it just doesn't make a difference. But all the studies I read said that one of the increases in fatalities overall across all, not just trucking, but across all accidents, is distracted driving. I've been saying that I think everybody should have CarPlay or Android Auto. I've been saying that I think everybody should use CarPlay or Android Auto. And it turns out that might not be the case. It turns out that, just finding out today, that may not be what we need to do. Because whenever anybody reaches for anything that has a touch screen, distracted driving is increased. So there's no data that shows that what the studies are calling them are infotainment screens. And if it's in touch mode, then it is definitely not detracting from the accidents. So I have a very, very cheap CarPlay screen in my rig, and the touch screen sucks. I mean, you can't reach up there, and you have to tap sometimes, so I don't ever use it. And I'm looking back on it in retrospect, and that may be a blessing, because before I leave and I want to use my GPS, before I take the brakes off and head down the road, I punch in my next destination. When I get a message, it reads it to me, and I respond with voice. I don't text and drive. And I've been driving for so long that it used to use a CB back in the day. I haven't had a CB in forever, but it is something that I'm very cognitive of. I won't even respond if I'm in the city. If I'm on the interstate, I may respond. Or if I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I don't have to take my eyes off the road at all, I may respond. But I try not to use my electronic devices. I talk on the phone a lot. Maybe I need to cut back on that. But the touch screen, I don't use the touch screen. And that's mostly out of necessity because of my cheap CarPlay screen. But like I said, maybe it was a disguised blessing. I've been thinking about replacing it, but there's nothing wrong with it other than the touch screen. So I think I have the right touch screen. I think I have the right CarPlay. I'll keep it. This is not something I ever contemplated before. The ability to reach out and swap screens. You can do that through voice. You can do that without touching the screen if you need to switch to. I mean, as a truck driver, the only thing I ever use really is the GPS on that thing. When I get a text message, if it's not important, I just ignore it. On the daily, I get a message from someone telling me where to put my trailer, and it reads it to me. Half the time after I stop, I have to go back and look because say it tells me door 8. I might be 4 or 5 hours out. I'll forget door 8, especially over the day. So I go back and I look at it. If I were to get a message saying someone I love is hurt, well, I'm going to find me the best place to pull over and call them, or I'm going to call them with CarPlay and never take my eyes off the road till I can find a place to pull over. I don't know that a law is what we need. I'm a libertarian. I hate laws. I hate the idea of government control, but maybe the responsible thing for Apple and Android, and I don't know of any other phone OSs, maybe the right thing for them to do is to, in a car situation, make all touchscreens disabled. Seems like an easy fix. I'm sure we'll start seeing a lot more cars pulled over if they do that, which would be really indicative of how many people are using it going down the road. But I don't know what the answer is. I'm going to edit a lot of this out, so I really am rambling this morning. That truck driver getting killed in our company, it brought a whole lot home to me. I am old. I am heading toward retirement, and I'd like to get there. And I am very sad that there's a young guy who's not a young guy, he was in his 40s, who's not going to get to see retirement. And his family's going to miss them. And that's got me pretty tore up, because every day we all go out there and we do this job. Let's get home to our families. Let's do that. That's the most important thing. Let's let other people get home to their families. Huge responsibility in this job, and people don't realize it. And I think us truckers forget it sometimes as well. I better get off of here and get ready for work. I had a great omelet yesterday. Got into an argument with a buddy. It was beautiful eggs, then I put cheese in it, and I folded the eggs over the cheese and let the cheese melt. And it was wonderful. It was delicious. The eggs were light and fluffy. I'm trying to learn how to make better omelets in life. At the stove. And I always made them a very specific way. But I've been watching videos, and they say that the best thing to do is to, I'm not going to go into the recipe. There's a better way to make an omelet. So I've been trying it, and I've kind of gone back to my old way of doing it, but I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try it again. I'm not very good at it. I was very good at it the old way, but it required a non-stick pan, which we don't use anymore. We're sticking with strictly cast iron now because it's healthier. We hope. I'm going down another rabbit hole. I tell y'all what. Be safe. Get home to your family. Have a great Thursday. We are almost to the weekend. I hope you find peace, love, and dream. Until next time, see ya.